Welcome everybody to the Two-Halves podcast. I am Ryan.
And I'm Rio.
And we're going to be jumping straight into this. Champions League, Real Madrid versus Red Bull Leipzig. Rio, I always like to ask you in the beginning, what did you think of the game?
It was a very ugly game. It was not the best. I was not pleased. It was, well, as far as the position, they played very, very, very nicely, very organized, and they played a good game, but we let ourselves down, and we did not play as well as we should have. Disappointing.
I agree. 100%. The fact that it took us so long to get into the game, the mistakes out the back, just some very very easy mistakes that didn't need to happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We couldn't get the ball right in the box. I mean, I question why Rudiger was playing as a left back. Rudiger is not a left back, and it was funny because I heard the announcers mention it. It's like, oh, and this is Rudiger's first time ever playing as a left back. Why would they do that? It's not. Ancelotti's actually played them there in La Liga, I'm pretty sure, like once before, and I found it weird. But you noticed the mistakes Ancelotti during the game because he was like changing the positions up. He was changing the players, telling them to go back. I mean, Rudiger by like 30 minutes went back to being just a regular center back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After we were to 0 down.
Yeah, because it was obvious that, all right, this doesn't work. Nacho can't be the de facto center back. Like, he's solid, but he's only there to fill a role, not be the leader. You know, he's a backup. No, even if he's a starter, he's still supposed to act as the backup. And Militao, I love him, needs somebody else next to him that's far more competent than he is.
Yeah, sure. And also, I would add that, the reason why Nacho could not do a good job is because Rudiger was not doing a good job where he was. And, he was on Nacho's side. So the job became twice hard for Nacho when it could have been an easy job for Rudiger and an easier job for Nacho because Nacho knows the position. But I don't know. I really don't know what happened in that game. Did you actually hear anything post match? Did you say anything?
Like how so? Cause I know like Courtois came out afterwards, and I mean I didn't hear if there was any backlash to it, but he was basically talking about like how like, oh, if you're gonna come and play for us, you got to give it all. You can't be tired. This isn't a game, not just a game. That I mean, I don't remember quote for quote, but he was basically just saying that it was just like, if you're gonna come play for us, you have to play for us. He was putting down players without like naming who they were, saying that they didn't try hard enough. That they looked like maybe they were tired, or that they weren't taking it as serious as they were. And I don't know who specifically he might have been mentioning, but I was just kind of thinking like, I don't know if Courtois, like, that's your place to say that. You know what I mean? Like, I think what he probably was mentioning was the defense, specifically that mix of Nacho, Militao. I'm sorry, when I saw this defense, and it was Rudiger, Nacho, Militao, and Vasquez, I immediately knew. It's like, oh God, like, this is horrible. They're going to get past us. Like, what are we doing? And of course, that's exactly what happened, right? Why is my camera so messed up? Anyways, and it just, like, why do you have to rest Alaba, I put that comment on, like, some Instagram post. They were like, I was like, what, no Alaba? And they were like, we don't need Alaba. And then, of course, I got back to that comment after the game, and I was like, hindsight says, yes, we needed Alaba, at least, the very least, you know what I mean? So, it just, this shows that we do still have some weaknesses on the team. We don't have backups for defenders if we're not playing our very best. Like the only position, like, we could kind of change up the defense, but Carvajal needs to stay as a right back until we get a true right back. And you can put in Mendy. I feel like Mendy would have done a much better job as a left back if you had taken Nacho out and left Rudiger in the middle with Militao. I think that would have worked fine. And Mendy hasn't even played a game or two. Mendy didn't play the last domestic cup game, right? In La Liga, he didn't play. So why would you not put him on then as the left back? He's a natural left back.
He would have been a lot better than.
Exactly. So I don't know. This game frustrated me, but I mean, good on Nkunku, bro. Like, he is a monster, this guy. And I knew from the minute that we drew Leipzig, he was going to be the person that we would have to watch. Because I want Nkunku for us. Like, all right, well, I've wanted him. But then, we have Vinny on the left. I don't really think we're going to get rid of him anytime soon. So there's not really much of a replacement, Like, if anything, we would get, like, another rookie, right? Someone to grow into the position. But, I mean, Vinny's, 21 still? Maybe 22 now? Like, that's his position until he, like, royally screws it up for the next foreseeable future. So, what was dude, I just lost my point. What was that?
You were making a point that we need better backups.
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. And so,
it was hard. It was a very good player.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm still adamant about Reece James as a right back. You know what I mean? Like, he is probably one of the best right backs in the world, if not the best right backs in the world. We lost Hakimi. Maybe a few years down, he might want to come back, but I doubt that. He's happy on PSG, and they're having an incredible season. And so, I don't know. I don't know. So, Nkunku, that was the point, right? Like, I knew from the moment that we got them was going to be the biggest issue. And he was. Speaking yesterday was when the game happened. He was a threat down that line. His speed, his strength, his finesse on the ball. Like, I was so scared thinking that this guy was going to score, like, his own hat trick. Legit.
That's true.
Like, this man was eating us alive. And he wasn't just stuck. I'm realizing. Excuse me. Now, he played like a center mid role. You know what I mean? Usually he's like a left back, but he was right behind Andre Silva. So, because he was moving on the left, he was moving on the right. He wasn't like just stuck to one wing. No wonder, that was genius of them. He's such a threat, that guy.
And also, I'm not sure what happened to Rodrigo. That game. And he had a few games, some really good games, and then this last one, he didn't show up. And one of the issues, and it's good.
Okay, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because believe it or not, the consensus was that Rodrigo played amazing. That he was like possibly our best player on the field. And what?
Yeah.
And I'm not to try to take away that Rodrigo didn't have like great moments where I saw some a glimpse of like magic where it's just like keep him as where he is, but he wasn't showing what he's been showing us the last couple of games. He had a slower game, and I keep wanting to say like today, but yesterday. And I feel like the defense for Leipzig was amazing, so it's not necessarily just his fault that we couldn't do anything. No, everyone in the defense for Leipzig just like was eating us alive. And so I can't necessarily blame them for like not trying that hard when they were putting in good passes. Everything was just getting blocked. So I just think that like Rodrigo didn't have his best game yesterday, and I don't know why people kept thinking that he was like one of the best players. He wasn't. He was good, but not our best. Our best players. I don't know who our best player was yesterday.
Playing like crap. I think maybe Camavinga. He didn't have a bad game.
Oh, really? Oh, no. I was waiting to talk so much crap about Camavinga.
Really?
Yes.
listen, they all had a bad game, but I thought he was trying.
No, you're absolutely right. That was probably the best. Oh yeah, he won. He won Player of the Match, Rodrigo, with an 8.5. Again, I don't think he did horrible. I just don't think that he did as good as they're trying to make it out to seem. He did great.
Of course.
He had the penalty, great penalty. He had a 98% accurate pass, 75% shot accuracy, 4 shots.
That's pretty good. That's actually pretty. 98% pass.
Yeah. I mean, 68 touches, 33% successful dribbles. He had a 1.45 xG, which is basically like expected goals. 1.03 xG. Sorry. XG on target was 1.45. Anyways, these are all a bunch of new stats that they're coming out for soccer and stuff like that I've been paying attention to. I also got a new app that like is pretty incredible. I'll share it to you later. If we ever get like a sponsorship for a soccer app, this is definitely, I like this one. I've like never heard of it before. Incredible, all the stuff that you can do on it. Yeah. Anyways, but Camavinga. Alright. Check out the positive first before I really get into it. He had so much energy. This man never gave up the entire game. He was trying to go after everything. You know what I mean? And like, he was like all over the pitch. So I love that energy. I love him never trying to give up. If he ever lost the ball, he tried to go right back and win it. He was winning a lot of different he was winning the ball back a lot. Thankfully he didn't like get he didn't get a yellow, right, during the game. So like he yeah, so at least like there's that, right? He's kind of gotten smarter at tackles, even though he still makes some questionable things. But my issue, and one of the announcers actually said this, where it was just like, oh, he looks like he's still like getting used to his body. He's only 19. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what he looks like. He looks like he's used to being a smaller human being, and all of a sudden he has these like really long limbs, and he like his touches, and I'll say this about mostly everybody. I feel like everybody's touches were too heavy, where they didn't control it right in front of them. It would like bounce up in the air or ricochet to the side, and they would have to get control of it. But that was Camavinga all game. Every touch of his was a little bit too heavy. He would have to control it after the first touch. He would make maybe not as strong of a pass where the player would have to like go for it instead of it coming to them. Kept losing the ball a little bit too much. He didn't make some nice. He did run through some players, which is good to see. He ran into open space when he could, which I loved. Right, I feel like a lot of soccer players don't do that enough. But it's his long legs. They're so long. Yeah. It's like I seriously watch this kid. It's like watching a baby deer trying to walk for the first time sometimes. Yeah. I'm just like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, take it easy. Like, it's and so I see the potential that he has, and I definitely think, like, I love that we have him. He's definitely going to grow into his body and become a lot more aware tactically. But right now, yesterday during this game, I saw an Instagram post that was like Real Madrid without Modric. And it was a picture of Tottenham Hotspur's logo. You know, and not the Tottenham. I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and we've been a little iffy lately. But I was just like, oh, that's so disrespectful. You know what I mean? But you know what? If we had Modric, I'm sorry, instead of Camavinga, we probably could have won yesterday. You know?
I don't think so. I definitely think so. I think Modric would have made a difference.
Yeah, and so I mean, maybe Camavinga just needs more starting time, and I don't mind giving that to him because I see the potential in him, but he needs far better players next to him to do that. So he needs a Modric, you know what I mean? Even though him and Modric kind of share the same type of playing style, I still feel like, because Cruz didn't captain this game. Cruz captained the La Liga game, our last La Liga game against, who we played last? Was it Osasuna? I don't remember. But I noticed in the replays that they gave him the captain band. I was like, oh, good for him. But this game they gave the badge. Who did they give the badge to this game? Hold on, I'm trying to.
It was
Carvajal.
Nacho.
No, I think they gave it to Carvajal.
No, they gave it to Carvalho after he came in.
Yeah, right. Okay, and I was like, oh wow, that's. I felt like that was a weird choice. I never would have thought Carvajal as like the leader. You know what I mean? Because I guess Real Madrid, what we do is we give the captain band to like the oldest player. But I don't. I think that no, you need to give it to the player, even if they're young. The player that you know is gonna be the most dominant one. So I mean, in this lineup here, if I would have to give it, I mean, Cruz probably deserved it more than anyone.
Yeah, Cruz, of course. He won everything with us. He's been here for like a good amount of time, so.
Yeah. But so yeah, I want to say that, right? Like, heavy touches all game round. There was like 5 minutes where I swear every touch we did was too heavy, and like no one could just control the ball and was making like a bad pass. It was like, what is going on here? We can't get anything right.
The pitch was pretty gross.
No, and yeah, like it looks cleaner on the monitor. I mean, on the TV screen for us, but I still don't think that's an excuse. You know what I mean? Like, maybe all right, because then what? I feel like then that's saying that we're spoiled, right? That because we play in a perfect pitch, we can't play in a non-perfect pitch. No, we beat Leipzig before. There's no. That's not no. But I mean, Vinicius, as many chances and as dangerous as he was still losing the ball too much for me. He had way too many chances in front of the box on breakaways and would just lose the ball to the defender. Just way too many of them. Way too. And there was one chance I remember he has. Nice little breakaway. He still has defenders on him. He cuts it into the top of the box. And he is just continuing to dribble it over the box. And he gets it in front of the defender where I'm like, okay, you can shoot now. And he just keeps moving with the ball. And then the defender slides in and takes away from him. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You had like a full 2 seconds back there. Just shoot it. And you did nothing to it. You know what I mean? You could even pass it. I think Asensio was open, in the box. And I'm just like, what, like, he, like, a lot, alright, like, he just needs to, he still has to learn. He's still not maybe the peak that he needs to get. And I feel like I've been giving Vinicius a lot of crap lately, but he deserves it.
He's nowhere near where he needs to be at, and he has to understand that. And I think that's what Ancelotti was saying when they did not rank them as high on the Ballon d'Or, and he was like, yeah, that's not the place that they should be,
Yeah.
They have a lot to learn. A lot to learn.
No, yeah, true, and I agree. Okay. Oh yeah, we subbed in Eden Hazard. Didn't do much. He had some nice moments, but that's what you get from Hazard. Nice moments. You know what I mean? Like, he's smart tactically on the ball. He makes some good passes, but you're not gonna see much else. I love that Asensio got that assist with Vinicius, which was a beautiful header. Dude literally just stood there and knocked it right in. That was like just a little bit, but the skill for Asensio to beat the defender and do what a right winger does, and you just don't see that from Asensio, right? Like, I was like, oh wow, like, you actually played as a perfect right winger in that position. Awesome, do more of that. But then we didn't really get to see any of that. And then Vinicius again didn't even jump, just bam. That was like, all right, that was class. That was class. But I mean, I don't know. Apart from that, I'm trying to remember. Courtois is doing some weird things coming out of the box. I didn't like.
Yeah, he's been acting weird lately. I don't know. Ever since he came back, he's been acting funny.
He maybe best goalie in the world got to him. Like, it's different with before where he felt like he had something to prove, and now this year it's just kind of like, I'm the best goalie in the world. I don't know, maybe.
I already proved it, so it's okay. I do whatever I want now.
Or he's thinking, I should do this now to prove, like, like now he's trying to be fancy. I don't know. I don't know what's going through his head. I don't want to assume, but it was just some weird things that he did. A couple of saves that you would have expected him to save last year. I mean, that Timo Werner goal on the last one, I feel like Militao lost sight of him behind him. He slowed down when clearly they're going to try to cross the ball into the box, into the open space, and he created that open space for Werner to come in from behind him. Could have been blocked, wasn't. I mean, I don't know. It just like we could have done more. We could have done so much more to win this game. I'm upset that we didn't. We. All right, I feel like I've been ranting. You talk.
No. I mean, it's very upsetting. I truly understand you. Trust me. If I said that would be the right thing as well, because one, it's not ranting because we're just upset. We care very deeply about this team, and we know what they can do. And when they don't do it, it hurts. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very, very upset. This was supposed to be an easy game, and we could have.
I mean, I wouldn't say easy, because Leipzig, as not well as they are doing in their own league. Hold on, let me check where they are right now. They're in 8th place, 16 points, 4 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses. They should be playing. They should be a lot higher the team with the players like Werner, Nkunku, and Andre Silva.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they have a good team, and they're not doing as well as they could be in Germany.
We are Real Madrid. We have the best team in Europe right now. We should be beating them.
Yes.
There's no team we should not be beating. Like,
Yes.
I'm not afraid of playing any team in Europe now. But why can't we beat, that?
Yes.
That's what I said.
I just remembered I texted you this, and I meant to start this video out with this, but all game long, one topic, one theme kept being brought up, and I swore, bro, I was gonna it got me so heated. And it was, oh, Benzema's missing. Oh, it's because Benzema's missing. Oh, they can't do it without Benzema. Benzema, as if we haven't proven in the last couple of weeks that we can do it without Benzema. We've been still undefeated without him scoring goals, looking amazing. This game had absolutely nothing to do with Benzema missing. Absolutely not. Had nothing to do with him missing. I honestly think it was the midfield. I think it was the midfield and the defense. 100%.
I think so as well. I think it's mostly the midfield. I think it was Cruz and Chouameni. Especially Chouameni was not having a good game. He kept losing the ball so many times.
Yeah.
They got him in quickly.
So I want to put that out there. We've proven we can play without Benzema. We don't need Benzema. Do we want Benzema on the field? All day.
Of course.
100%. Why wouldn't you? Why would you not? But we don't need him. We proved that already. I still want him. Keep him on the field, and for however many more years he can play, please. But we're moving into a transitionary period where, you know what, we have good enough young players that could fill the role that Benzema did. And they still may not be at his level, but you can bet that they're getting there. They're showing glimpses that they can be on his level. Rodrigo, he's looking like, a future Benzema, so we'll see. But that was just pissing me off. Just Benzema this, Benzema that. No. We can win without Benzema. We've proven it.
So, when is he coming back? Do you know?
He should be available for the next game.
Mm.
Yeah, no, him, Modric, Valverde should all be available by next game.
Nice. Who do we play next?
Okay, next we play, I'll tell you right now, I think it might be Girona, which I'm excited about because they have Miguel Gutierrez and Rainier on their team.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And they've been pretty doing. Rainier just came back from injury. His last game was his first time that he got since he's already scored a goal this season. Looking lively. So yeah, Girona at 11:15 Sunday, which I already gotta let you know I will not be able to watch or record. I'm going to the Jets Patriots game, and
Yes,
it is
yes, yes.
also your birthday, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
So
Yeah.
for the viewers out there, whatever viewers there might be, if you do watch this, October 30th, hit up the channel, the Instagram. Wish him a happy birthday, please. The man deserves it all.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you.
but so I will have to watch this game at a later point. This podcast
Yeah,
will
yeah,
take a
yeah.
hiatus that day. My girl, I owe her a couple of things, right? Like she didn't get to do a couple of things because like I asked her to do something differently, so she's just been like, like you said you'd make this up to me. Okay, fine. Like we'll go to this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
And then
it is
plus,
important.
yeah, and then plus,
Yes.
our 6 months is on the 4th. Her birthday is on the 10th. So it's a lot of making up. It's a lot of like gifts. It's a lot of like time off. So Sunday is one of those things that I'm doing to make sure that it's just like I keep my girl happy. You know what I mean? Got to make sure she's happy.
Of course. That's very important. Very important.
Of course. So and it's fun. I actually bought a lot of Jets memorabilia today because
Yeah.
because I want to go. I want the Patriots have been playing bad. The Jets are 5-2. Patriots are like 2-4 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a football podcast, not a football podcast. But you know, I got a girl who loves football and is a Patriots fan, and I hate the Patriots. So I'm gonna have fun making sure the Jets win. But so yeah. So Sunday I won't be able to be here, but we'll still record a podcast at a later point.
Yeah.
But so, all right. Anything else you wanted to talk about this game, man? Because I'm sorry. I have ranted. I ranted.
Yeah, that's it.
I ranted
That's it.
so much. I did. This game, we were undefeated since last May, and dumb me, I put a post on it on my personal Instagram, not even our podcast Instagram, but I was like, because it was I think it was the ESPN FC post where it was like it's October and Real Madrid just lost their first game. And I put that post up, and I was like, "It's our first loss since last May, and yet I'm still pissed off." You know what I mean? Like you think that like, oh, what? You've been undefeated since like the end of last season, and in all competitions you've still been killing it. You won the Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup, all these other things, La Liga. You're still in first place in La Liga. And you're undefeated in La Liga still, like you would think like, oh, okay, one loss, what's the big deal? No, the big deal is that we didn't need to lose. The big deal is that we shouldn't have lost. I expect the best out of our team, and we did not play our best.
Yeah. We expect the absolute best. This is what it means to be a Real Madrid fan. This is what it means to be a Real Madrid.
Exactly. Yes. We're the kings of Europe. We gotta act like it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Alright, we're hitting the 30-minute mark, 28 minutes now, so
Alright. Yeah.
this has been good. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment if you can. What did you think of the game? Did we play well? Did we not play well? I mean, do we play? Can we win without Benzema? Like whatever. I just let me know what y'all think. Wish Rio happy birthday this Sunday. Hopefully, let's make sure we keep this undefeated streak in La Liga at the very least.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, we're still guaranteed into the next round for the Champions League, so we are where we need to be at the end of the day. But all right, won the first loss of the season. I shouldn't be complaining, but I'll complain.
Real Madrid.
Yes, we are. But so, yes. So everyone, thank you for watching. I've been Ryan.
Thank you. And I'm Rio.
And this has been the Two-Halves podcast. Take care. A la Madrid.
A la Madrid.
Yes.